TODAK is using the comfort heroes, high ground defensive mage.
See, that's the reason I actually expected these the Phobias to go to the XP lane, and that's the reason I did not like the Phobias in the mid lane. It's because they've already picked up a Martis in the jungle. They don't have enough damage output. FMM cannot deal damage solo like that against a team that's super tanky. Remember, TODAK didn't have a full squishy composition. They had a Minotaur. That's a tanky man.
Okay, it's a very, very tanky. Like I mentioned before, using the minion PoE, it can bring the area of effect with a big crowd control. So the enemies need to be careful. Even the DG is already getting banned, so there will be no save from the time journey or even the reverse time to hold the enemies right away. And now Vanny, DG, Lucian is already banned by the both of the team and Burmese. Valentina is still open, and Wan is still open.
Do they really want to play that game again? SLATE Esports, they had control. Let's give them props, right? Early game, they did have the control, but knowing SLATE Esports from casting their games for the past year in M3 and C games as well, when they were the representatives, they are always the slow-paced team. They like to take the game slowly, and they like to take the game objectively. That three-fighter composition is very reliant on them being very aggressive. They need to take a lot of skirmishes, and it doesn't feel like it's their style.
I think it depends on the drop hero, because if they are picking like the assassin hero or even like the fast tempo hero, if they playing very, very passive on the early game, it's gonna be disaster for them. But now, one last ban from SLATE. 1-1.
It has to be, right? There's no way they leave it open again.
If they open again, maybe they have the strat or the pocket strat they want to use on the second game.
Man. They don't ban the 1-1. They let it go again. Oh, this is scary. You're not only giving a 1-1 over to a random team. This is TODAK, and it's Chiku. But hey, they don't go for the 1-1. Hey, maybe that's the reason. Maybe they know that the Akai has just been prio for TODAK in the regular season of MPL Malaysia. You can see the smiles as well from SLATE. Maybe they were expecting the 1-1 pick. They wanted to counter it. Now it's all gone.
Yeah, TODAK didn't get the bait. They picked the Akai instead, but now two heroes will be picked by the SLATE. Are they gonna play with using the 1-1 itself?
They have to.
Yep. Or even like if they are facing Akai, maybe the Direct will be a good option because DG is already getting
exactly. Oh man, you're right, Colius. What would be a pick, a solid pick here?
1-1 Martis? 1-1 Farsha?
1-1 Farsa. Man, the safe pick would be Lilia, honestly, but they do go for the Lilia. They go for the Matilda as well. Now, I don't know if FMM is comfortable on the 1-1. That's the big question that we have right now, because in the last game as well, they actually opted to give him the Beatrix.
And now, TODAK. The Akai is still flexible, I think. Akai can be used on the XP lane, but we already rare to see Akai on the XP lane now. Mostly they are using on the jungle instead. Now the two heroes from the TODAK itself are Farsha. Is the counter of 1-1 gonna be picked by TODAK? And okay, both heroes.
Alright, there you go.
So they're trying to teach SLATE how to play both heroes.
It definitely seems that way right now, Colius. I agree with you. It definitely seems that way. Oh man. Well, SLATE can just go for the exact same draft that TODAK went for. The Esmeralda is up for grabs this time. But guess what? TODAK can play... No. Now that Moon is here, there's no way Moon goes anywhere except the mid lane. So Chiku is going to be on the Phobias, most likely in the XP lane. Yeah, SLATE, I think Esmeralda is just the right choice here. They can't let the Phobias scale properly. They want to try to bully it. And Esmeralda is the #1 hero to do so. Unless...
Well, Esmeralda can do the Falling Star Moon too, to like go away or like showing the Farsha from the team fight. But now we are going to enter the second ban phase. That TODAK didn't have the Roamer and the Gold League. Maybe Beatrix is the option, or even Irithel?
Yeah, I think the Irithel is going to be the #1 choice here for SLATE to ban first because of that matchup. 1-1 doesn't do well at all up against the Irithel, and if 1-1 actually loses out in the early stages, doesn't get that item power spike fast enough, this Phoveus is going to be a massive problem on top of that. And guess what? You actually mentioned this, Kolios.
Your team
The
is
Farsa
banned.
is a good counter towards the 1-1 with the burst.
But they can have Cloud too. So using the Battle Mirror image
agree.
and the Blazing Duet, the backline of SLATE will be having a nightmare. But Cloud is still needing the item, so he need to be like babysit from strike.
Your team is
Donuts
banned.
becomes the option for TODAK. Once again, it's the same bans coming in from TODAK. They might actually just go for a Lilia ban next, right? That's what SLATE did. It really feels like TODAK want to teach SLATE because the drafts are very similar to what SLATE actually banned early on in the first game, and even in the second phase, it's the same. SLATE with the Lolita ban, I think right now this is the time to go for the Irithel ban, because if they don't ban the Irithel, it's wide open.
And it's gonna be used from TODAK. But one last ban, we're gonna see another Roamer or Irithel or even like a Cloud. Or what do you think about Bruno?
Oh, Bruno does really well actually.
Dexter,
They go for the
Your
Cloud
team
ban.
is banned.
Because it have the sliding tackle to like avoid the falling star moon from the Esmeralda or even the circling eagle when it lands on Bruno later on.
Even to maneuver himself out from the weakness point from behind from 1-1, right? So TODAK now have the option. If they want to go for something a bit crazy, the Bruno is up for grabs. But if they just want to get a counter, a solid hero up against this 1-1, it has to be the Irithel.
team is
Martis gets banned out, and just like that, Adamir's fighters in the jungle have been limited to just a Paquito now.
Paquito or Bauman? What do you think?
I think Bauman.
is-
Paquito up against Phoveus. That's a lot of demonic force procs, man.
That's the problem. That's why I think Bauman can be a good hero even though the Bauman is already getting nerfed by the lethal counter itself, so the damage to the Lord is getting nerfed. But one heroes from SLATE, are they gonna pick the jungler or the mid lane?
Jungler or mid lane? I think a safer pick would just be that Yve mid lane, right? Yve can be an option here. Lilia would be a little bit more sustained. They're not gonna go for Lilia. They're not gonna go for the Yve. They go for the Minotaur in the jungle for Adamir. All right, so they're just swapping, literally.
Yep, swapping
SLATE
the hero.
have the same composition that TODAK had in game 1.
The difference is only Farsia on TODAK because Farsia is still using by TODAK on the first game. So on the second game, they have the burst damage from the mid lane, they have the mobility from the wings by wings, and now Raphael and Bruno. Told you, Miracle.
Yeah, you did. You really did. And now it's... Oh, this is such a good comp. Let's see, SLATE, they really want to just go for the exact same picks? They can't because the Farsa has been taken away by TODAK. So there's going to be a difference in that mid lane. Against this comp, though, I wouldn't say Yve, right? You have so much displacement, you have a lot of CC and a lot of damage. Yve is very vulnerable to that damage, but hey, they can still pull it off. They have a Minotaur to act as a solid front line. They also have Matilda to disengage, so I wouldn't mind seeing a Yve here. A Lilia would be safer though.
Or the mid lane heroes who can
Lunox.
yeah, burst damage. I think they did it too, but Xavier, I just want to mention it because Xavier, using the Downing Light, it can bring the pain to Farsia, to Bruno, or even when he have the 3 stacks later on when the team fights happen. But with this draft, quick prediction, Miracle.
I think right now it's going to favor TODAK again, in my opinion. Even though it's kind of the same draft, I'm looking at styles here, Kolios. The reason I didn't go for SLATE in game 1 was because I knew what they were going for. They wanted to go for early game, but SLATE usually plays it very slow-paced. With a slow-paced gameplay with the composition they had in game 1 doesn't work. Here, SLATE has a better chance because of the slow build composition, but TODAK, when you give them that snowballing comp, it's scary, man.
Yeah, because they want to like having the high mobility using the Raphaela when the Holy Healing pop up, so it can bring the additional movement speed to his friends. But SLATE have Matilda to even like the Minotaur is using the Minion Fury later on the Lord Pit or even the Turtle Pit. It can like stopping the Akai from using the Hurricane, the Heavy Spin.
Let's see though, right? Both of the teams have set their play styles, the game plans right now as we jump into the land of Dawn to see the execution for both SLATE Esports and TODAK. Moon and Yums in that mid lane. Farsa, Rafaela versus Mathilda, Xavier. Who wins out in the clearing department there?
And they're just swapping the lane. So yeah, Bruno facing Esmeralda right now, but with low HP using the flick out. Oh, Chico guys still survive.
It's a good swap by SLATE. Wanwan does really well against the Phobias early on in the game because, again, without that ultimate, you're very vulnerable to damage and you're going to get bullied. And guess what? Bruno doesn't do well against Esme, so it's very intelligent, the lane swap coming in from SLATE.
I think Rafaela gonna babysitting Chico right now because if not, Esmeralda gonna bring the hard times to Bruno, but Momo itself, like you mentioned before, without the demonic force, it's gonna be disaster to facing 1-1 using his basic attack only.
Wait, Colius, it's my bad. I guess our bad here because it wasn't SLATE that went for the lane swap. It was TODAK. Bruno's in the XP lane.
Bruno is on the XP lane, yeah.
Okay,
But
so
now-
this is very interesting, right? I wonder what this plan really is from TODAK. I guess they just want to give Chiku as much gold as possible, and the reason they need to swap him to the bottom side is for this. They can actually just go and isolate the turret.
Under 2 minutes, they already got
Wow.
the turrets, already got the gold shield from the outer bottom turret, and now Chiku have the advantage on the gold itself.
That's a big brain move, man. My god, now they're going to swap back, I think, right? Right after the turtle right now. They'll have a level advantage, they'll have a gold advantage. Let's see what happens here. They have a marksman as well, so in terms of damage output, TODAK should have a bit more to play with. Rival jumps in, good damage coming in, but Adamir steals it away. Chiku still able to kite away right now, as Adamir is going to be caught there by Rival. Taken low, going to be healing back up. Nick flickers out. It's a good trade by SLATE. They get the turtle, and they don't lose anyone. But Chiku's looking for that turret gold, looking to clear, and they're funneling so much onto Chiku.
And they didn't want to swap it very quickly because now the Esmeralda is getting targeted by the TODAK itself. The energy impactors of Pro is not connected, and Gear still can use the recall.
That was clutch, man.
Yep. But I think if we can hear the beat drums from the hearts, I think it's gonna be from Gear. Like, am I gonna get catched by the TODAK?
I think it might be a bit faster, right? that was a clenching moment for sure, man. But yeah, Bruno clearing out that bottom side. So still no plans of lane swapping just yet. Chiku's still just farming around that bottom side, which is interesting, right? You would expect Bruno to rotate towards the top side after getting a level advantage so that he can bully the 1-1 even more. But why do you think they're actually staying here? Why do you think he's just playing around XP and mid?
I think it's because of the turtle position. It's on the top lane, so later on, Obvious can back up his teammates more quickly than Bruno. But now, Rival.
No threat right now, right? Rival can just get out. He's in a Kai. He also has the help of that mid control from Moon and Yum, so it's not really going to be any threat posed towards the Akai. Rival can just do this constantly, and sure, he might lose half of his HP, but he's never going to be taken down in these skirmishes. Unless 1-1 comes in.
Yep. 1-1 after he got the corrosion side, I think it can bring more pain, even if he already have the Demon Hunter sword. So later on, like Rival and Momo will gonna be facing the hard time. But now on the bottom lane, they're trying to get the inner bottom turret very quickly. Even first blood is got by Chiku.
But yeah, I mean, sure, they do get first blood, it's traded in, Chiku falls, but the Roamer gets the kill. It's still very much worth it for TODAK, because guess what? They put on so much damage onto the tier 2, they get a kill, and they convert on the objective up top because they use that bottom side as a distraction. This is a brilliant macro play as well.
Yep, but it doesn't stay long because SLATE is trying to aim for the outer bottom turret. Even they give the TODAK to get the turtle very free. But now, if his spin is being pop up.
You know, right now, I'm trying to think about it right now. Adamir, oh my god, very overextended there. I think he was looking for a pick, but there's a miscommunication over from Sayla and Nick, where they didn't want to commit. but you guys can definitely level up your coin farming skills with HSBC, just like Chiku's doing right now. Level 8 to FMM's level 7, and I think in terms of gold, he definitely has an edge as well.
And he's using the Weapon Master
My
emblem,
God.
so all of the damage from Bruno later on gonna be painful. But Silver Eagle is trying to aim Yums, but I think Slate doesn't have the follow-up from his friends.
No, they don't have the follow-up, but they might have the unrivaled gaming experience, the Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 4 5G. You guys can also get it if you want to play like Chiku. So smooth right here. Bottom side tier 2 taken, and now Wanwan has to rotate down below. And Chiku's just energized, like you guys can be with Omne.
Energized because 1-1 is like jumping every time, so you can do it, Omne. But now, 30 seconds to the last turtle, I think, because it's already past 6 minutes. Who's gonna get it? Because like the goal difference is leading by TODAK right now, 3,000 gold. And if we look at the items, Cloud of Destiny already built by Moon. So later on, he gonna build like the Lightning Truncheon and even the Chiku. He already have the Berserker Fury and want to build the Endless Battle. So it can bring the true damage and later on the critical hit. It's gonna be disaster for Slate because the volleyball, if he got 10 stacks, he will get the movement speed, he will get the critical hit. Yep, it's gonna fail.
And look at how they're playing here, Colius. TODAK is really playing the mind games right now. They completely ignore the bottom side. They say, you know what, if you really want that tier 1, go for it, right? The tier 2, we're not going to give you that. Phobia's going to rotate, and guess what? You take one objective, we'll take 2. That's a turret up top and also a turtle. And they also are threatening the take onto the orange buff. Chiku still gets it here. Adamir did not use the Retribution, and you're gonna go to the commitment onto the mid lane. FMM gonna be caught here by the heavy spin and the demonic force. It's a disaster. FMM gonna be taken down here, trying to get something back, compensation anywhere, but it's not happening for Slate.
Under farm, under level, and now FMM is taken down. Oh my god, 1 kill.
Look at
Even
Chiku.
purple buff. Yeah. Chiku is like he enjoying his time itself, and now he's trying to do the sliding tackle in front, but Sayla can survive.
Chiku, you are in the midst of everyone, but he does not care. That's what Chiku likes to do. I can't believe he didn't get punished at all there in a 1v3. Mid lane taken down. It's a disaster for Slate Esports currently. Everything is going the wrong way for Slate. Even Sayla with the Mystic Field, with the Dawning Light, he can only take a quarter of HP away from Chiku. And guess what? That's going to be healed back up by the Rafaela.
Yep. Chiku is cosplaying Cristiano Chiku right now. Because like the kick from the ball is very, very painful.
I am at a loss for words right now, Colius. This is absolute dominance from TODAK. And they're playing their way.
Yep.
They have the Aurora collection for sure, man, because they're really just forcing Slate to play TODAK Langar style.
They're in the zone, man. They're in the zone. But Rival using the heavy spin, maybe he can showing a lot of member from the Slate, but later on he need to be careful from the Minuan Fury because you have a big crowd control area of evac, and if got followed up by 1-1. Because FMM, yes, he already get taken down 1 time by the TODAK, but I think the level is not far enough from the enemies. It still have the items, and if he pop up the crossbow attack, it can bring a lot of damage.
And here, I mean, honestly, this is a very good decision by SLATE Esports. Giving over the Lord to TODAK, and instead just going for a trade up top, mirroring the movements of TODAK to find something. Oh my goodness, that was close.
Almost.
A bit too close for comfort for TODAK there.
Yeah, almost is never enough, but yeah, without Retribution, I think with a little bit HP bar, Slate almost got it, but now Gear is getting chased by TODAK.
Alright, say goodbye to Gear, man. He's gonna say, ooh, say goodbye, man. Now you see him, now you don't. It's a magic trick by TODAK there. Gear definitely overextended in the top side, and now with a man advantage, it's gonna be TODAK, who most probably is gonna be able to crack that base open.
Yep. With only the first Lord, they can get like the inner middle turret, even they are gonna try to aim the base middle turret later. And Slate, what do you think? What they can do to defend their base right now with like the damage from the Chiku is very, very painful.
Well, Immediate Fury definitely is an option. There is a Ghost for it, but the damage comes through in the back line as Chiku still is going to be able to dish out so much damage. That's one kill over to Chiku.
Ooh,
now,
Downing Light.
Momo jumps in, dealing so much damage, but in the end will fall to the hands of FMM. 1 for 1, but it's the top side base turret taken down. Mid lane going to be falling as well. As TODAK just take it. Here, even here, can't really look for that falling star moon. Like you mentioned, that sliding tackle from Chiku is just way too good.
I think SLATE is saved by Sayla. If we look at the items, like the Clock of Destiny, Lightning Truncheon, it's like having a lot of damage to clear the middle wave, but now Gear,
Oh, he's good, right? Okay.
yep, still survive, I think. But he using the Better Airstrike, but Adamir still taken down.
Okay, Coleus, that damage is definitely not legal. Adamir's a tank.
Yep.
Chiku just like 3-shot him.
Yep.
I guess you could explain it because he has the items. He has that many items already. It's a 7,000 gold lead as well, but that's a tank. That's a Minotaur. That's a pure tank.
With only 3 basic attack, Adamir is like cooked to well done steak.
Oh. Oh man, you're right.
Wow. What SLATE can do to defense, like yes, they have the Savior to like have the high ground abilities to defense from the base, but Chiku, I think who can aim Chiku on the back line, because they only have the Esmeralda, but I think Esmeralda is only can take 2 or 3 basic attack. It's like the Adamir itself on the last team fight. So
Exactly.
yeah, he cannot sustain it, or he cannot. Chiku's too much to bring pain.
What is that?
I'm speechless, man.
What is that damage, my guy?
40,000. Oh my god, by Chiku itself.
You can take away the rest of the TODAK members and it'll probably still just be enough damage. TODAK. Oh man, this is not looking good for SLATE. Enhanced Lord now coming down, and this might just be the Lord to end the game for TODAK. SLATE can't really contest, knowing that again, the waves are just building up in a way where it's slow pushing to SLATE Esports, and look at Chico. He's soloing the Lord. Oh man.
But now rival is coming, I think.
You don't need to, rival. You can let him solo it.
No.
They're
I think
scared.
they're scared of the Downing Light because it's almost still the Lord on the first Lord before, but now with the Lord itself, TODAK is gonna like push very hard to get the base from SLATE.
I think the last time I saw a Bruno this scaled up, this snowballed, this farmed, this fed was back when Bruno was playing in the jungle in Season 7, right?
Yep.
I've never seen a Bruno get this far ahead since. And Chiku, well, he used to play the jungle back then, so it fits his role. But here you go, ladies and gentlemen. This might be the final push from the side of TODAK. Adamir going to be the front line once again. FMM going to be jumped on by the Demonic Force. Dawning Light putting in. Chiku dealing so much damage. Adamir disappeared again. That's the frontliner. FMM with the crossbow tank dealing damage onto rival now, but it's not going to be enough as Chiku is just going to be able to melt everyone down. Gear going to be taken down as well there by the hands of Chiku. He's flickering forward. It's another triple kill for Chiku. Absolute dominance. 2-0. The base wide open, and SLATE Esports have just been eliminated for MPLI 2022.
Yep.
Holy cow.
The farmer. Look at the gold he get and look at the damage itself, because I think with the item from like what Chiku gets, he can versus everybody with using with only like Rafaela by its sides.
Again, I'm just at a loss for words. That was